Hey guys, welcome to SC Talk. Today I'm going to talk about Docker images and Docker containers. Docker image is just a file, a binary file that we use to spin up containers. So a container, or you can say that the container is a running instance of an image. So if you are familiar with OOP, for the ease of understanding, you can think of images are like classes and the containers are like objects that we create using those classes. So you can create one or more containers using a single image. I guarantee that you will have a better picture about images and containers at the end of this tutorial. So now I'm going to talk about how to find an image from the internet and how to download an image and how to spin up a container using these images. And I am going to talk about what happens in the background when you spin up a container and what is the local repository and what is a remote repository. I'll be talking about all of these things. Be with me till the end. Let's see how to find an image from the internet. For that, open your browser and go to hubdocker.com. This is called Docker Hub. This is the official repository for your Docker images, like GitHub for your code bases and all, and this one is for your Docker images. And thousands of images are available here for you to download and use free of charge. So let's start with our first image. I'm going to search for Hello World image. I'm going to type Hello World. Hit enter. Okay guys, this is the image, Hello World. Let's go inside and see what it looks like. So here you can see a brief about this image under the description, and then there are reviews and there are tags. I will be talking about these tags later in the tutorial. So for now, let's keep it aside. In the right hand side, you can see the command that you need to run to download the image. The command is docker pull hello world. So let's see what this docker pull command does. Docker pull is the command that we use to download an image from a repository. The command is like docker space pull space and then repository name and then column and then tag. So I'll talk about the tags later in the tutorial, so just keep it aside for now. The important thing that you should keep in mind is that every image has a default tag. The default tag is called latest. That means if you do not specify the tag in the docker pull command, then it will use the latest tag by default. So with that being said, these two commands are equal. Docker pull hello world is equal to docker pull hello world column latest. Now I'm gonna download this hello world image to my computer. So for that, open your terminal and you can check whether your Docker service is running or not. Service Docker status. Or in my case, it's not running, so I'm going to start it. Service Docker start. Now started. You can check the status again. It is active and running. Now my Docker daemon is running. So I'm going to download the Hello World image to my computer. So, and first of all, before that, I'm going to show you how to see or list down the images that are already there in your computer. For that, you can run the command docker images. So you can see it is empty list. There are no images. So now let's download our Hello World image. Docker pull hello world. And so be noted that I'm not specifying any tag name here. Let's see what happens. So it should use latest tag because it's the default tag. Let's press enter. You can see it's saying using default tag latest. So now it is downloading the image. Download is successful. Now if you run the command again to list down the images, docker images, you should see one image here. You can see our hello world image is there. When you run this docker images command, it will list down the images that are available in your local repository. That means in your local machine, not in the remote repository. So now I have one image in my local repository, that is hello world, the one I downloaded. You can see repository is hello world and tag is latest. And now I'm going to spin up a container using this image. To spin up a container, we use the command docker run command. The very basic pattern of this docker run command is docker space run space and your repository and your tag. And here again you can replace this repository column tag by your image ID as well. Then there are many more parameters that you can pass into this command, like you can give a name, you can give an IP to the container, and you can map ports, and you can volume your host machine directories inside the container, and you can copy files, and you can set environment variables. There are many more. So we'll talk about those later, and for now let's spin up a container using our downloaded hello world image. So now let's start or spin up a container using the downloaded image, hello world image. So for that, docker run hello world. If you need to specify the tag, you can specify it column tag name. Here we are using the latest, that is the default one, so we don't need to use that. I'm going to press enter. And ideally what should happen here is this should print the hello world to your terminal. Let's see whether it prints. You can see it's coming, it's working. Hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly, and there are blah 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 blah. So now we started a container using our hello world image. Now how to see that? Where is that container? So for list down all the containers in your machine, you can run the command docker ps-a. This will list down all the running and stopped containers in your machine. This is the output of docker ps-a command. This is the list of running and stopped containers that are there in your machine. So you can see there are several parameters of these image containers. Container ID, this is the unique identifier, and then the image, the one that you use to spin up this container, and the command, and then create a date and the status, whether it is running or exited, and then the ports, if there is any, it will show up here, and then the name. So just one single example, I will show you how to give a name to a container. So I'm going to spin up another container using the same image. So for that I'm running docker run, and I'm giving an attribute dash name and space. Give the name as sctalk, and I'm giving the image hello world. So now if you run the command docker ps-a, there should be two containers, one with the name sctalk. You can see the latest one, which is exited 8 seconds ago. The name is sctalk. So that's how we give a name to a container. Docker run, you can see the command here, docker run space dash name, and then the name you need, and then the image. Now let's see how to remove these containers. So for that you can simply run docker rm remove, and forcefully I'm removing them, and you can give either the name or the container ID. So for sctalk I'm giving the name sctalk, and it's removed. Now if you run the command again, it will show only one container, which is the one that we created earlier. And now I'm going to remove this one as well, rm-f. For this one I'm giving the ID, so you can use both ID and name. Now if you run the command docker ps-a, there should be a, sorry, something got wrong. Docker ps-a, you can see it's an empty list. So now let's see how to remove our image. So let's see how to remove this hello world image. For that, I'm run the command docker remove image rmi-f forcefully, and you can either give the repository column tag or you can give the image ID. That means you can give image ID like this, hello world latest, like this, or you can copy the image ID and paste it here. Now it's removed. Now if you run the command docker images, there's no images, it's an empty list. Now there are 0 images in my machine. So now what happens if I run the command to spin up a container using that hello world image? The command was docker run hello world. What will happen? What do you think? Will it fail or will it spin up a container? It will spin up a container. So what happens is, first it search for the image in your local machine, in your local repository. So here you can see it says unable to find the image hello world latest locally. So then it goes to the Docker Hub and see whether the image is available in the Docker Hub or not. If the image is available, then it will automatically download it to your machine and then spin up the container for you. So it will do the download job for you. So now you can see it shows us hello world, hello from Docker and the blah 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 thing. That means we started our container successfully. Let's see whether it is started or not. You know the command now, docker ps-a. Yeah, you can see there is one container. And now if you list down the images, there should be one image, the hello world one. I hope you got what happens. So far we learned about what is a Docker image and what is a Docker container and how to find a Docker image from the internet and how to download an image and how to spin up a container using an image. And now let's see what that tag means. We talked about something called tag. So what does it mean? So explain about the tag. Let's pick another image. I'm gonna pick a CentOS image. I'm gonna search for the CentOS. Okay, here is the repository, and you can see there's a tab called tags. So if you go down, you can see it has the default tag latest, and if you go down, you can see there are some other tags available, CentOS 8 and then 8.3.11 and 8 and CentOS 7 and CentOS 7 likewise. So I think now you understand what this tag means. These are like versions. So if you need to download Docker CentOS 7 image, so what you should do, docker pull CentOS and you should give the tag CentOS 7. If you do not specify this one, it will always download the CentOS latest image. So it will not be the CentOS 7. So by the time I'm recording this one, the latest tag is a CentOS 8 image. So you will get this CentOS 8, not the CentOS 7 if you do not specify the tag. So if you need a CentOS 7 image, then you have to specify the tag as CentOS 7. And if you need a CentOS 8, you can specify the tag CentOS 8. Or else if you need an image of CentOS 6, then you can specify the tag as CentOS 6. This is what basically tag means. Tag is for versioning. So you can have multiple versions in the same repository for a single image. So in this tutorial, what we talked about is how to download an image and what is the image and how to spin up a container and how to delete a container, how to remove an image from your machine, what is your local repository and what is the remote repository, what is the Docker Hub, These are the things that we talked about. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to create your own image and how to publish that image into Docker Hub. Thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.